Hey there, and welcome to today's explainer. So let's just jump right into it. Have you ever wondered how AI actually understands our world? I mean, it doesn't have eyes or ears like we do, right? Instead, it relies on secret maps and blueprints to make sense of everything around us. Let's dive right in and see exactly how this works using things you probably see every single day.
Here's our roadmap for today. We'll look at why AI gets confused, the blueprint called Ontology, the map called a knowledge graph, some real big tech examples, a quick review corner, and finally, some core AI principles. Let's get started.
Section 1. Why AI gets confused. The problem with smart computers. So we hear all the time about how super smart computers are, right? But somehow they still make these totally silly mistakes. Why does that happen? Well, it's because AI reads words just like strings of letters. Take the word tomato. The AI knows perfectly well how to spell Tomato, but it doesn't naturally know what a tomato actually is. Is it a fruit you study in science class, or is it a vegetable you toss in a salad? Without a guide, AI just sees words, but it totally misses the meaning. Moving right along to Section 2, the blueprint, Ontology, setting the rules of the game. To stop AI from making those silly tomato mistakes, we basically have to hand it a rule book. Think of it like the instruction manual for a massive Lego set. We call this blueprint an ontology. Now, ontology is just a big fancy word for a plan that defines what things are and how they connect. It tells the AI, hey, in a garden, a tomato is a fruit, but in the kitchen, it's a vegetable. It literally forces the computer to understand how the real world actually works.
Inside this rulebook, we have our basic building blocks, which are called entities. An entity is really just a real-world thing. Actually, think of an entity as a single physical Lego brick. It could be a person, like your favorite singer, a huge company, or even a movie. It's just the basic thing that we want to talk about.
Next up, we have relationships. A relationship is exactly what it sounds like. It's the specific connection between two different entities. So if an entity is a single Lego brick, the relationship is how we snap those bricks together. For example, if we have a director block and a movie block, the relationship snapping them together is makes. The AI learns a director makes a movie. Pretty simple, right? All right, Section 3, the map or knowledge graph, building the actual world. So now that we have the rules down, let's actually build something. A knowledge graph is a giant map of real-world entities and their relationships, built using the exact rules of our ontology. Imagine this massive, connected web of information. The AI explores this web just like a tourist walking through a new city with a perfect map. It can jump from a singer to their band, over to their hit song, all because the map shows exactly how they connect. Let's put these two big ideas side by side to make it super clear. On one side, we have the ontology. That's the blueprint, the master plan, the rules. On the other side is the knowledge graph. That is the actual building or the final map. The crucial takeaway here is that you absolutely cannot have a strong building without a solid blueprint. And a blueprint is completely useless unless you actually build it. They work together as a perfect team. And guys, this technology is becoming incredibly huge. The market for these graph databases is expected to jump to a massive $15.3 billion by 2032. That is a ton of money. To put that into perspective, these tech maps are becoming some of the absolute most important tools in the entire world, and companies are basically racing to build the biggest and best ones. Section 4, big tech examples, how your favorite apps actually work. Now, you might be wondering, do I actually use this stuff in real life? Yes, you absolutely do. You use these secret maps every single day. Just look at the biggest tech companies in the world. Google uses a massive knowledge graph, so when you search for BTS members, it doesn't just hand you a random list of words. Instead, it gives you a smart, neat little box showing the singers, their ages, and their songs all perfectly connected. Samsung uses an on-device graph to connect the apps on your phone, so their smart assistant knows exactly what you need. And Netflix, they use a movie ontology to map out genres so they can recommend the exact perfect movie for your Friday night. It's pretty magical when you think about it. Moving to Section 5, quick review corner. The core keywords fast track. We've covered some seriously amazing tech concepts today, so let's do a rapid-fire review to lock in our 4 core keywords. Ready? First, ontology. That's the blueprint or the rules of the game. Second, knowledge graph. That is the actual map or the building we create. Third, entity, a real-world thing just like a single Lego block. And fourth, relationship. The connection that literally snaps those Lego blocks together. If you remember these 4 simple words, you completely understand how modern AI actually thinks. Section 6. Core AI Principles. Rules every beginner must know. As we reach our grand finale for today's explainer, let's look at the golden rules that make artificial intelligence actually, well, intelligent. Step 1. AI needs meaning, not just words. Without meaning, it's really just a giant, confused dictionary. Step 2. Rules, which is our ontology, make AI safe and accurate. They stop the computer from making those silly tomato mistakes. Step 3. Connected data, our knowledge graph, is smart data. When we connect facts together, AI can actually solve big problems and help us out in our everyday lives. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with a fun question to think about. If you could build a knowledge graph of your very own brain, what amazing connections would your map show? Think about how your hobbies, your friends, and your favorite foods all connect together in your mind. It's like a giant puzzle. Thank you so much for joining me in this explainer today. Keep asking questions, keep exploring, and we'll see you next time.